So yesterday, many elections were held, and I'm just going to give you a real quick rundown. This is from Crook.com about the effects of the Donald Trump ideology. Some are calling it Trumpism, which I think was a term coined by Ann Coulter. The greatest kind of people. But here you go. The Democratic Party's off-year election wave Tuesday night could come to represent the moment when the political world awoke to the idea that Trump's experiment can't be easily replicated. Well, of course it can't. Donald Trump was running against some extremely weak candidates. Like, who did they have in the primaries up against him? Marco Rubio? Like, you can just pour water on that guy and he'll explode. You know, Ted Cruz, who's the slimiest type of person and only supported by either extreme religious fundamentalists. And in general, they had Hillary Clinton, which was, yeah. You get someone a little bit stronger than Hillary Clinton, they win. Democrats swept races statewide in Virginia and flipped the governorship of New Jersey. They expanded Medicare by ballot initiatives of tens of thousands of citizens in Maine, and if the Virginia legislature turns blue, they might ultimately expand Medicaid to hundreds of thousands more as well. So that right there is amazing. Clearly I'm in support of a good amount of this. Here's some more. Ralph Northam's decisive victory in the Virginia governor's race over Ed Gillespie, a corporate lobbyist whose race-baiting campaign embodied Trump's republicanism, is the test case that should truly trouble the GOP. His 9-point margin in that contest, larger than any Democrat has enjoyed there in decades, represents the most straightforward and consequential rejection of Trumpism we've seen all year. The magnitude of Democrats' success represents a windfall not just for liberal politics and the Democratic Party, but for social cohesion, the idea of pluralism that Trump has tried to stamp out. Okay. So there's a lot I can say about this. There are some other ones that we could go over. For instance, there was the state senator who, I think it was North Carolina, who passed the bill that basically said you can only go into the bathroom that replicates what it says on your birth certificate, or, you know, that one was replaced with a transgender state senator. That's pretty good in my opinion. But what does this mean? Well, it's simple. What this means is now we can't blow this opportunity. We've blown opportunities like this before. Just look at any time we had a majority in the entire 2000s. Where we didn't use that to block non-progressive proposals and push progressive ones. Instead, Democrats just tried this center-left strategy. It didn't work. So what we need to do now is, if Democrats want to keep this going into 2018, which I firmly believe they can, then they're going to need to actively have a progressive streak start up. You know, if these people get progressive streaks, they'll win easily. That's just, at this point, I think that's a fact. And when you do have corporatists in there that don't have a progressive streak, they get voted out. Mark my words, any of these people that don't have progressive streaks, and we will cover them, they're going to be governor for at least 4 years, or at least a couple of years. Typical governor term is 4. I expect to cover these guys at least once or twice. So, get a progressive streak going. That's really it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.